Hello and welcome. We are back with Final Fantasy number 1. This is Chapter 8, Part 1, and we are going to be getting ready for a fight with the air fiend. So, yes, we have to get our poop in a group and do some preparing before we can go and do that. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get back to our airship, and first place we need to go is Melmond. We need to see a professor about a long-lost language. Now, as with all of the walkthroughs before this, I will be skipping the fights that I run from and fast-forwarding through the fights that I do fight, unless there is something that you need to know. So here we are in Melmond, and I don't remember exactly where this guy is, so bear with me for a second and we will find the professor. He has been working on the something language. I don't even know how you pronounce it, to tell you the truth. Nope, not that one. Not that guy. I think this guy right here. He does look a little bit different than the other NPCs. And it gives us a slab. Okay, you know, kind of like a Rosetta Stone and not the online course kind. Alright, so now what we need to do is go to this kind of isolated town that, if you would have went to it before this, you wouldn't have been able to understand anybody. Therefore, you wouldn't have been able to get the stuff that we need to get there. So, what we're going to do is you need two things to go ahead and take on the air fiend. First being, you need to take on the, or you need a chime and, what was the other thing? Anyway, you get the chime from this town that we're going to. So, this is where you're going to land. This is south of Gia, the town that is in the little valley there. So that's right here, and we are going to go south. You can find this by when you find the lake. There's a lake that's kind of in the middle of the woods here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go south, southeast, all the way down, and find this little kind of isolated town in the woods. There's no way to get past this any quicker. You're probably going to have to go through it, and you're going to have to do some fighting or running, whichever you prefer. At this point, you really don't need to do any grinding or any, leveling. You can pretty much run if you want to. So keep that in mind, and let's go ahead and head out shortly. There we go. Okay. So like I said, have to take these fights on. When I run into trolls, or bowls, or whatever they were, I'll usually fight them. It's no real big deal. Now remember to go southeast there, otherwise you'll not be in the right spot. So, giants, of course we stab a giant in the belly because, well, they're big old money sacks, so might as well, right? Okay, just keep heading south. And it is a bit of a walk. But basically in this part we'll get the chime, and then there's something else that we have to get from this waterfall cave. Cube, that's it. We have to get a cube from this waterfall cave. And then we will have what we need to get into the Mirage Tower, which is where we can teleport to the floating castle where we will find the air fiend. So this town has some of the most powerful magic in the whole game. It's expensive, but it is here. And I don't remember which guy has the chime either, so it's gonna take a minute or two here to so I try to get my bearings and figure out where we're going and who we need to talk to. I do know it is in this town though. So yeah, there's not a lot going on in this town. I don't think there's an item shop, no weapon shop, no armor. I don't even think there's an inn or a hospital. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think there are. I think really the only thing here are the mage shops. And there's this little break up here where it looks like if you go to the east that you'll just, go out of the town. You actually won't. The magic shops are over here. So you can go in that little break in the bushes there and then just keep going east and you will run into them. So it has the white and the black right next to each other. And there's some good stuff here, you get your life too. I think it's also known as full life, so that's a nice level, I think it's a level 8 spell, I want to say. And of course the black magic, I think this is where you get the nuke. Yeah, it's where you get the nuke. So that's a pretty good level 8 spell as well. And I just can't seem to remember who has the chime. It's around here somewhere. Oh, I think it's over here to the east. This little group of people over here. Somehow I missed the one person I needed to talk to when we were here earlier. So let's cruise over here and see if we can find him. I'm forgetting the golden rule of classic RPGs, which is to talk to everybody and examine everything. So we're getting some information about the old Sky Castle. Okay, we're good to go. I think we're good to go. Yes, we are, well, are we? Maybe. I don't know. This is one of those things where you think you got it, but you weren't 100% sure. So, Yeah. But we did. Just make sure that before you leave there you do have the chime. Which is what I should have done. I should have just hit the start button and looked in my inventory. Now the next stop is going to be the waterfall cave. So what we need to do is go back to where, the area where, oh, I don't remember the name of the town, but it's that coastal town where you have to land kind of far away from it, you know, and the town's on the coast. And then use the rivers to get to a waterfall. And there's a cave behind that waterfall. And that is where we'll get the cube, which I think that's what we need to teleport, something like that. So that tower we just passed, that's where we're going to be heading back here in a little while. Well, actually in part 2. So that's where we're going to be going, right there. And so we might as well go ahead and land in the normal spot, which is over here to the west, right by this desert. And then hit the river. And so this ice cave coming up, there's nothing too difficult that you need to worry about. There are some like moguls and some nightmare pony things, but nothing difficult really at all. Except for there are some perilous, I think is what they're called. The things that can turn you to stone, those you want to avoid. They're only in one spot, I think, though, and I'll show you where that's at. So when you get to the ice cave, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure you want to keep going left, or west, essentially. Keep going left, but sometimes you kind of have to go a little bit south, you know, whatever the case is, but just go wherever you need to go to keep going left. And it's not a real big dungeon, so if you get lost, it's no big deal. And so, like, as you can see right there, we had to go north a little bit, and then we can go left again. And that's kind of like the MO of this dungeon. So there you go, there's some nightmare ponies, no big deal. Pretty easy. And really the only thing that will trip you up is figuring out whether left is north or south. You know, so there I thought it might have been north, but it's actually south. So once you reach this point, just keep following the left-hand trail until you get down here and you're forced to go right, and you can see the door right here. And lo and behold, we're gonna have something in here. There's an alien. Yep, there's aliens in Final Fantasy I. Don't ask me. I don't know, but that's an alien. Alright, go ahead and loot all of these chests. That wizard staff there will it will actually hit all enemies and cause confuse, so that's kinda nice. And the alien will give you the cube. Alright, so now all you have to do is head back out, and then we'll go back to that little coastal town and get ready for our assault on the Mirage Tower and the floating castle. So that will be part 2 of Chapter 8. So I do want to heal up just a little bit here because lost just a little bit of health on our way in here. So always good to keep your HP up. So you might run into a few fights on your way back out of here, but for the most part you can, you know, just skip them and head on out. You know, unless you want to take them on. And that's pretty much it. You just go back the way you came. You have everything that you need. The only other thing you can do at this point would be if you want to go back to one of the other towns and maybe restock your heal potions and stuff before going to the Mirage Tower. But that is it. So we're gonna make our way back out here. Try not to make too many wrong turns. We are almost outie. Okay, well that will do it for this part. So that was Final Fantasy I, Chapter 8, Part 1. We're getting all of our stuff together for the Mirage Tower and the Floating Sky Fortress. So next episode we will take on the Sky Fiend. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.